You're watching Just Some Lads. My name is Jane the Don Perez, and I'll go quickly into introducing the three other co-hosts.
Hello, my name is Zina.
No.
It's kinda, they're all like,
You just call yourself
that's
Zena.
all there is to it.
No, I love that. That's
I'll
a
go
great name.
quickly. I'll go quickly to the next host.
Who am I? You sure you want to know? Oh, my name's
No.
Finn. Next up.
My name is Andrew, and in case you didn't realize already, this introduction is extremely hard for us to do. And we're just gonna hop in and hop
How am I gonna realize
into
that?
the whole podcast thing. Oh, because it's,
I guess we start laughing.
yeah, it's quite cringy. I hate to use that word, but it is. But we're gonna hop into this whole podcast. We have a lot of exciting stuff to talk about. We have D23 to talk about, all the stuff coming to the Disney Plus streaming service. We have a new trailer for the Joker movie, a new trailer for Tiny Season 2, and I'm sure more topics will just pop up in the middle of the podcast. So, a lot of stuff was revealed at D23. We're mostly going to focus on the Marvel and Star Wars stuff. And the first thing I want to talk about are going to be the 3 Marvel shows that we're getting, that were confirmed. They won't be releasing with the app, but we'll be getting them eventually. And those are Miss Marvel, I hate Captain Marvel, She-Hulk, and Moon Knight. I'm going to let you guys talk what you guys think about it, and then I'll share my opinions, and then we can continue with the conversation. So, Finn, I want to know what you think about the 3 upcoming shows.
Ooh, this is a bit of a switcheroony from last recordings. Well, I guess I'll start off with the one I don't know, it doesn't matter. I guess the one where Shanov muted himself. I guess I'll start off with the
That's a
Moon
true
Knight
story.
show. I'm actually really fascinated with the character of Moon Knight because I don't know much about him. But a lot of, one worry I had at one point was how everything was going to be PG-13/TV-14. But I feel like they could still do, a serious thing. Like, for example, the Dark Knight trilogy. I'm pretty sure that's PG-13, and it worked well with the dark tone. So hopefully it has, a serious tone, and hopefully the action's good. And then, I don't know, I'm just curious. I guess that's the one word to describe it. Miss Marvel, I think, should be fun. I really don't know much about her, but she should be fun. And then She-Hulk, I think could be cool, but I don't know how they... I'm just confused because they might do it... They might make her too similar to Hulk, like the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Which, if done properly, I feel like that, the whole theme of the Incredible Hulk I thought was fine. So I just think if it's executed better, it could be really cool, especially in a show form. But I don't know, I guess I'm mostly excited for Moon Knight. Next up.
I'd say that'd be most people. Chernov, what do you think?
Well, I will admit I don't have as much of an opinion on She-Hulk. I do kind of have some sort of understanding about what I was gonna say Mark Spector, but Moon Knight and Miss Marvel look like. So
Wait, can I
Moon
interrupt for a
Knight,
second?
right? Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Yeah, I have to go pee. I'll be back in a second.
Thank you, Finn. But basically, Mark Spector is this interesting character, right? The way Moon Knight's set up, he has this interesting subplot for him where it goes into his split personalities. He's almost treated as a very insane person, and it's really interesting to see that in the comics, and I'm kind of curious as to see how it might be executed in the TV shows. And as for Miss Marvel, well, Camilla Khan, definitely. I believe that introducing a Pakistani sort of representative, I think that her to do this, it's trying to understand how character arcs can overall fit into the grand scheme of things. And I remain curious and intrigued.
Still talking,
So I guess
Jesus.
I'll have to find out.
Yeah, I'm super excited for the 3 shows. Finn, just invite Jane back to the party. He lagged out. Your
Yeah.
party leader.
Alright, keep going.
Yeah,
The show must go on.
I'm super excited for these 3 shows. Actually, mostly Moon Knight. Like Finn said, I want to know
Yeah.
a lot more about the character. I haven't really read any comics. I don't know about his origin story. I don't know much about him, but he sounds like a really cool character. He looks like a really cool character, and he's definitely this dark character that I want to see in the MCU, because the MCU doesn't really have a lot of these dark characters. And one thing I'm also very excited for is that these shows will actually be going into the MCU. Like, these characters, they are debuting in their own TV shows, but they will make their way to the big screen, which is where I think the Netflix TV series and all those shows, I think that's where they failed. That's where they went wrong, because those characters, they felt like they were trapped in their own Netflix universe. The people who made the show said, oh no, yeah, these guys are a part of the MCU, but we never saw them appear in the MCU movies, and we probably never will, unfortunately, no matter how great the shows were or how great Daredevil was, because Daredevil was fantastic. But I'm very excited that they told us that when they were revealed, because then it would just be a repeat of us asking, well, are these guys going to make their way to the MCU? Are they going to make their way into the MCU? And Disney would just be like, well, they technically are, but they're trapped in their own universe. The shows will cross over, but they won't go into the movies. As for She-Hulk, I guess it's cool. I know a little bit about She-Hulk. You know, I know that she's a lawyer. I know that she's constantly Hulk, unlike Bruce Banner Hulk. A lot of people are saying that she's gonna fill the Hulk void that Hulk didn't, but I'm just confused on why Hulk can't fill that void. I guess because he's Professor Hulk now. So I'm excited for that, I guess. That's probably the one that I'm least excited for, but I think it's going to be cool, especially the lawyer stuff. We'll get some of that Daredevil feel back in that show. And Miss Marvel, I'm actually pretty excited for her. I'm a big fan of Miss Marvel. I think her powers are super cool.
You almost slipped up there.
I almost slipped up. I almost did. I think her powers are really cool.
Yes.
I like how she's a kid who is a fan of the superheroes, and then she becomes a superhero herself, very similar to Peter Parker in a way. And I think she's gonna fill
MCU
that,
Peter Parker.
Yeah, MCU, yeah. And I think she's gonna fill that void that the MCU Peter Parker won't be filling anymore because Sony snapped their fingers and took him out of the MCU. So I'm very excited
Disney,
for her.
Whatever,
yeah.
not the point.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Yeah. But
My apologies.
It's okay. I'm very excited for her.
Never forgiven.
I hope she's good, and I really want to see her interact
Nani?
with other characters in the MCU. Jaden, what do you think?
I think the Miss Marvel's powers are gonna look really creepy in live action with her arm extending to like 6 feet long. But I'm also interested in the Moon Knight TV show, as you said, it being a really serious TV show, and having that character time with the rest of the MCU will be really interesting. I haven't really kept up with She-Hulk in any form of media, so I don't know too much about her besides her being a female Hulk essentially. But it'll be interesting to see how all these shows are incorporated into Phase 4 and 5.
All
Alright, may I add one more thing?
Sure.
So I was having a deep thought during my pee, and I was like, one thing I think that would be really cool, I don't know if it should be in like, this goes for like most things in the future, whether it be DC or Marvel. I hope they do, I don't know how to call this, I guess the Thor Ragnarok thing, where it's a Thor movie, but like one of the other main characters is Hulk. And then Doctor Strange is there. Like, I feel like that'd be really, really cool. And also in Jessica Jones,
sorry.
Luke Cage is a
Which TV
character.
show? Which TV show?
Oh, any of them.
Oh, okay.
Like, just how they, in like a Jessica Jones way with like Luke Cage, or like a Thor Ragnarok way with Hulk. Like, I feel like that could be really, like, just because something's called Moon Knight or called Miss Marvel doesn't mean they're the only characters. So, for instance, I guess, I don't know much about like the character, but for example, She-Hulk, maybe Matthew Murdock could be like a prominent character. I pray. Just want to see that man on screen again.
Yeah, everyone
Any
does.
screen.
Charlie Cox, not Matt Murdock. Charlie Cox.
Yes. He could show up as Charlie Cox, and I'd be like, okay, cool.
I mean, yeah. Sure enough.
You're like, hello, I'm actor Charlie Cox.
Sure enough, you were gonna say
Alright,
something.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with a lot of Finn's points. And I
Yeah.
do agree,
Alright!
yeah.
And
Let's step it up, boys! Next prompt.
There is one more thing that I wanted to say, adding on to Finn's point.
My apologies.
It's
just gonna
okay.
deny him like that.
I think it would be cool if we see some of the if we see like in one episode one of the MCU characters come into these shows, because we do know that they are gonna cross over eventually. So who knows? Maybe Falcon will show up in Moon Knight for one episode or one scene. Who knows? But
Ooh.
I guess we'll find out. All right. So there are a few
Or
other
Blade
stuff.
and Moon Knight, which was mentioned before.
In terms of Star Wars stuff that was revealed, there was also the Black Panther too, but all that we got confirmed about that was that it was happening. That's it. We didn't.
So we'll talk about that during Disney Plus.
Yeah,
May
we don't really know that much
So
about.
we'll talk about that during the Disney Plus stuff, probably.
Yeah, And
No, yeah.
as for Star Wars
I don't know. It
stuff,
doesn't matter.
the biggest thing that we got confirmed for Star Wars was an Obi-Wan TV series. That I'm very excited for. Ewan McGregor is coming back as Obi-Wan for I think about 10 episodes of an Obi-Wan series. Who knows if they'll do a
8.
season 2?
I think.
But I'm very excited for that. What do you guys think?
All right. Who's gonna go first?
I think the Obi-Wan TV show has been wanted for years. A TV show or a movie has been wanted with Ewan McGregor returning as Obi-Wan for literally forever, and now that we're getting that, I think that's great. I think the production value that we've seen in the Mandalorian trailer is really exciting because it looks like a movie. It looks like it has the budget of a movie. And from what we've seen of the Mandalorian, which launches alongside the streaming service on November 12th, sounds like I'm shilling Disney. I think it'll be awesome to get an Obi-Wan TV show and just to expand the Star Wars universe in a much better way than the movies have done so far.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that production value. I
Also,
am super
the Obi-Wan
excited.
TV show open with hello there.
Yes.
It should be narration like in the Raimi trilogy. It should be like, hello there. Who am I?
Hello there.
You sure you want to know? Obi-Wan Kenobi. I've come
I think
far
it's
away
zoom
from
into
being
a
the man
bar.
who killed Uncle Ben.
Yes.
I think you should zoom into a bar and he's just at the counter. He walks up, looks at the bartender, and just goes, "Hello there."
But in the
And
exact
that's
in
just
the, in
that's
the
how you start it off.
exact tone of voice, like
Don't
it
no,
can't be
don't even have
serious.
him say it again.
Yeah.
Use the sound clip.
And
Just use
the
the voice
face.
of- and
You
dub it
sound
over.
like it would
His
be him
face
mouthing it. Just,
Yeah.
like, just,
Yeah,
Dub it
dubbing.
over.
That would be perfect. Chernoff, what do you think about the Obi-Wan TV show?
I'm hyped. Like, Ewan McGregor, like, he is Obi-Wan perfectly in my book. I am.
Nah, I think Chris Pratt should have played him.
Who else would be Obi-Wan?
That's true. That's true. But like,
Done.
they could have easily done something.
Like
they
a
could have
Solo.
done- yeah, exactly. They could have done Solo, and they didn't. And I am eternally grateful for that.
I mean,
But just thinking about the possibility of a Obi-Wan like Obi-Wan without Obi-Wan. That's just nuts.
yeah.
What?
Apparently, the Obi-Wan movie was canceled because, or whatever there was gonna be was canceled because of the
Well,
backlash
I don't
that
think it was
Disney
ever in
got about
production. It was really just a
Solo.
rumor.
Yeah, but like it was kind of officially unconfirmed. I don't know, but we have this amazing TV series now. Finn, what do you think about the Obi-Wan show?
I don't know. I'm excited, man. It should be really cool.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot.
Star Wars.
Finn's
I have
a bot.
I have more thoughts about the Mandalorian because we've just seen more.
Yeah,
You know.
and
Yeah, the only thing we know about plot-wise for the Obi-Wan TV show is the time period, which is 8 years after Revenge of the Sith, meaning
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not that close to the first movie, A New Hope. We might see an 8-year-old Luke Skywalker, which could be interesting, and we could get reasoning for why Owen Lars pretty much despises Obi-Wan.
can we just get Mark Hamill? Can we just like CGI his face?
Yes, we're gonna de-age
on-
Mark
Oh,
Hamill to
Oh my
zero.
God! No,
Child.
like that iCarly episode where Spencer's a baby, but it's just Mark Hamill.
yeah. I don't know why, but I know the exact episode you're talking
That-
about.
You better know the exact
That-
episode I'm talking
That
about.
would be terrifying.
Oh, I'd have to kill
Multiple
you.
episodes that happen all the time.
The one in my brain is just from one of them where he poked it. Oh, whatever. So should we move on?
Yeah. Since we were talking about the Mandalorian, let's talk about that. We finally got a trailer for the show that's been confirmed for a while.
Oh, did we now?
Yeah. And
I love that.
And I absolutely love the trailer. I think it looks great. I'm super excited. The Mandalorian looks like this. It looks like this dark space western film. The shots, it looks like a western film. I'm very excited for it. What
Because
do you
Andrew
guys
knows
think?
all about Western films.
I played Red Dead Redemption. That's all you need to know.
Me too, 5 times.
Piss off.
All right, Jaden, what do you think about the Mandalorian?
I think it looks great, as I've mentioned before. I think the production value looks very high quality. It looks like the same budget they use for movies like The Last Jedi, except they're using it to good use. It's a very
Yes.
interesting concept because we're not. This is
Using
a,
it to good use.
This is a this is a point of view we haven't seen before because we've only gotten views from the Jedi and those of the Skywalker lineage or the Clone War. But
Yeah.
getting a point of view from a non-Jedi, non-really Imperial or Rebel soldier is going to be really interesting, and it'll be interesting to get to know the character of seemingly
Yeah.
the last Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian is just some lad.
just, just some lad. All right, Finn.
Shut
Finn, what do you think about the Mandalorian?
Who are you talking to?
You,
Some people
Finn.
haven't spoken. Me? Okay. Well, one reason that I prefer the original Star Wars trilogy to like everything else is I just like the genre and the creativity of the whole space western thing. And I think this show looks like it'll expand upon it. Because some of my favorite parts of, for example, New Hope is like when they're at the bar and it just looks like a cowboy movie, but there's aliens. Like I feel like that was a really cool thing for me.
Wolfman, rest in peace.
I did not hear a word this man just said, but I'm gonna assume he agreed with me because I'm.
Wolfman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Well-
the Wolfman. I miss him.
I just really think the space western idea is really cool, and I'm just fascinated with like the. I've just been always fascinated with like futuristic. Well, I don't know, whatever. Futuristic like
chaos,
scavengers, like futuristic
Yeah.
scavenger stuff.
Disorder.
That's what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Which I think are really cool, like
maybe?
Beyond
Yeah,
Good
I
and Evil
totally feel
2.
the same way.
Yeah, sure
I don't know
enough.
why I thought of that, but I did.
Sure
I'm
enough.
Sure
hoping
not.
we get to see.
Is it,
Please.
No, okay, yeah, I was a bit like.
Take the floor, not drop the floor.
Thank you.
Chanel, please
so-
take the mic.
Yes.
So-
Well,
Yes, you're sitting right
basically-
next to me, Chanel. Please speak.
Proceed.
So, so basically, I was gonna talk about the entire basis about like Mandalorian, but you guys basically have it covered. Again, going back on the
Covered like a floor that we dropped.
Covered like a
definitely must have,
fading wall.
yeah.
someone
But,
write down these bars.
Shut up.
I just think that it's like kind of interesting to see how like this kind of bounty hunter that's not like Boba Fett. Like the idea is that it's
Like a
still
guy who hunts
chaos.
bounties. It's so interesting.
No, but like even then, you can at least
I know.
agree, right? Like it's
Oh yeah, I'm being a jerk.
yeah, no, it definitely just like embodies the sort of chaos that they're going for, and I like it.
Yeah.
I think
I,
It's
that's
intellectual.
the thing to say about it.
I hope we get to see, maybe references to the past of the actual, race, I guess, or warrior
oh
race
yeah.
of
To,
the
yeah.
actual
To
Mandalorians.
to the Mandalorian.
I hope
warriors.
I hope both of these
I doubt it'll happen.
I hope both of
I
these
think it
shows are like smaller and like they don't retcon stuff. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm the main reason why I'm
Star
super
Wars is too
excited for
big to
the.
be retconned.
I'm
by
really
TV
excited for the
show.
Mandalorian because of the
Or like, oh,
timeline.
by the way, this happened.
By the way, Luke Skywalker was
I-
a homosexual.
I think the time period
Oh?
of the Mandalorian is super cool. It's 6 years after Return of the Jedi. The Empire is still around, but we're nowhere near to the events of the Force Awakens. And this was
Good.
something that was said and implied after Return of the Jedi, that the Empire didn't immediately go away after the second Death Star was blown up. So I think it's really cool that the Empire still exists. They're just not as
Oh, yeah,
powerful,
confirmed
and
Battlefront 2.
someone like the Mandalorian can kill these stormtroopers and these death troopers and all that. So does anyone else want to share any more on the topic?
No, I think we've covered everything.
Yeah.
Like we've seen partly like in books and great video games such as Battlefront 2 that the Empire had contingency
Great.
plans for after the Emperor went down. But to actually get that in live action form with the Mandalorian seemingly just taking bounties, whether it be for the Empire. Well, it doesn't seem to be the Empire because there's a fight scene with stormtroopers.
Yeah,
I'm
there's no,
I'm
like,
gonna be really
physical-
interested in how we'll see the protagonist, whether he'll be completely silent or whether he'll make him sympathetic. It'll be really interesting.
Who knows? All right. Well, moving on to Rise of Skywalker, we got our final
Wait,
trailer.
really?
Yeah, for the Rise
Oh.
of Skywalker. A lot of cool things. Last Jedi wasn't too great. So, what do you guys think? What do you think of the trailer? And do you
I'm
think
just-
the movie will be good?
I'm gonna just say that I have yet to see any of these trailers. By the way, even Mandalorian, I just saw stills. So, and I didn't see, and I haven't seen, I haven't seen much of anything aside from the like lost memes about Rey's lightsaber. So, going off that, I context. But I don't know. I mean, hope it's good. Why wouldn't I hope it's good?
Hot take.
There's my opinion.
Well,
I'm not
James,
excited at
share your
all.
opinion.
I think the sequel trilogy has not been good. Not only has it not been good, I think it's been straight up bad. The
Here's the
Force
thing.
Awakens was a
I'm
rehash of
sorry.
The Force Awakens was a complete rehash of The New Hope. The Last Jedi went against complete characters and just wasn't a good movie. It wasn't a
Oh,
good
damn.
movie. It wasn't a good Star Wars movie. So having to be a sequel to those two movies is going to hamper Rise of Skywalker. Maybe
pee
it could
again.
go pee. I just don't care. It's supposed to be this big ending to the entirety of Star Wars, but we're focusing on Rey and Kylo, Finn, and Poe, which we have no reason to care for. Especially Rey. Why do we care about the conflict of Kylo versus Rey when Rey has already beaten Kylo twice with no training?
Yeah,
Now she has training.
screw
Wouldn't
up
she
there.
wipe the floor with him? And Palpatine's returning, so what? They ruined all the living original trilogy characters, so you have to revive one to ruin them. It's just, I think the sequel trilogy should never happen.
Chernoff, what do you think?
Well, I'm actually, I respect your opinion, but I don't agree. For the being is that like,
Because you're wrong.
He hit
So-
him. He hit him with the "I don't agree." Damn. Or
It's
No,
okay to
no.
be wrong.
I'm back, and I'll have you know I washed my hands.
I didn't.
good, thank you.
Yes, I did.
That's it's really nice to hear, Finn.
All right, let's see
it
what
makes
Chernoff
me
has to say. I want to hear this. I want to hear this.
I personally want to hear about Finn's hands.
No.
Okay, well, I like turned the water on, and then I got like the soap, you know.
Yeah, you know
together,
the
where-
old soap.
No.
No, like hand soap.
So-
Wait, how do you hand soap?
No, like when it comes in like those bottles, then you like press it down and it goes.
Nah. You have a bar of soap in your bottle.
I use a bar of soap in my bottle.
Yes.
What? And then I cut little pieces off like potatoes.
I
Then I
melt
keep
down
exactly-
I melt down my soap bar and drink it. That's how I brush my teeth.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
god.
That's a genius tactic.
Works.
Honestly.
Okay,
Okay.
Chernobyl is supposed to be speaking now.
Yeah, Chernoff.
Yeah.
No, my apologies. My
That's
apologies.
yeah,
Share your
clean
intellect with our
hands.
7 viewers, please.
I shall.
Both
Alright,
of you
so
assume we have 7.
I am sorry. That was a bit of a stretch.
you
So-
mean like 2?
We're not gonna have any viewers if you don't let Chernoff speak.
Yeah.
Chernoff.
I mean like 0.7 viewers. Like it's one person, but they're not like paying attention. They're just kind of like nodding
All right,
off or
Chernoff,
on their
just
phone.
go. Just go.
Okay.
Looking at Toby meme, looking at Raimi
Basically,
memes.
I will admit the sequel trilogy is not perfect. The truth
No,
is
it's not
that
good.
no, but the thing, like, I think that it was fine from the
No.
first part of the trilogy. I personally do not like Rose's character. I think that's her name. I don't
Rose
even
is
remember.
terrible.
But
Rose is terrible.
that's I think that's where but the truth
You mean
is
Cassandra?
You're just saying that because she's Asian?
No.
No, I'm saying that because she's not
love
written
You mean
well.
Cassandra?
She's
Other guy.
annoying. I feel like a lot of her character, like
She-
a lot of her characters
She
built
ruined-
around just
she ruined
trying to
Finn's
help
character
Finn.
arc. Finn
then-
Finn was
What
gonna have.
character?
He was gonna sacrifice himself, and he was gonna sacrifice himself. That way, the Resistance can get away safely, and he would have.
Exactly.
He would have killed himself.
But it's
because
all about
his
protecting what you love
Yeah.
and not destroying what
his
you
entire
hate.
he spent his entire life on the wrong side, and this would have been him finally making a good decision.
Almost like a redemption, right?
Yeah, instead of
Like-
running away, he would have been running into danger. He would have been running into action instead of
Ooh.
constantly running away. But Rose ruined that. She's like, "Oh, I love you." Shut up.
No, but like I will admit, like it's tough as like as an actor to hear that. But the thing is that like, and I don't mean like I mean like on Rose's side, like just considering her point of view. So the thing is that I will admit I do have some faith in J.J. Abrams. He feels
Yeah.
like he seems like he
I
at least he's
I
I
like
have
The
more
Force
faith in him
Awakens.
than I do with other directors. I will admit.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I think the path that he's chosen. Let's be honest. There's no
James
changing
Gunn
it
to
now.
do the next Star Wars movie.
Facts.
You know that that would be interesting because like after James Gunn and his after James. Gunn
I
and,
think whenever someone talks about any movie, they're like
Guardians of the
James
Galaxy,
Gunn.
right? So
All right.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
all I'm gonna say is I think it's important to stay tuned and at least give this last leg of the sequel trilogy some some hope, if I
Yeah,
will.
I totally agree with
A
Sherlock.
New Hope.
As a big
No, but
as a,
yeah. I just want to say, just
Yeah.
last point. I do not want them to
But you guys are
regurgitate
stuttering at the same time.
I
What?
know.
formula. No, I'm sorry. I really want to make it clear that maybe this is kind of coincides with anyone else here. I do not want them to regurgitate the same exact formula. As in like the same movies, just pumping
Alright,
them out.
Sherlock's gonna keep going on. So
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
when
gonna.
yeah, but
I'm-
when
That's it. No,
when
no,
they try
I'm done.
when they
I'm just
try
gonna
not to, they
stop.
create the Last Jedi.
Okay, we're not gonna get into the terribleness of the Last Jedi. I hope the Rise of Skywalker.
I
I
thought
thought
it
it
was
was
a
an entire
perfect.
trilogy.
I hope the Rise of Skywalker.
I thought it was
good.
incredible.
As a diehard Star Wars fan, I want it to be good. I just think that they messed up.
Oh, you're a diehard Star Wars fan? I'm just a diehard fan.
You're just a die.
I did think that they messed up at the ending of Force Awakens when Rey beat Kylo. I think it would have been cool if Kylo was about to
She
kill
died.
Rey, and then yeah, that
And then
would
he
be
did.
cool.
No facts.
I think
And
it would
then
have been
he
cool
did.
if
How are they
like
gonna do
Kylo
that
never
to
got the
Baby
chance to
Yoda?
finish off Rey, and her and Finn were able to escape. I did think that Rose messed up Finn's character arc. There's that, but I do hope the Rise of Skywalker is good.
Hey,
I'm
what
excited
the
for
heck, man?
Palpatine. I want Kylo Ren to win. I am watching this movie for Kylo Ren and Palpatine. Those are the two characters that I care about in this movie.
Yeah, I can't wait for Palpatine to be ruined.
Yeah, that's true. That could happen, but I hope it doesn't. I want
It
Kylo
will
Ren.
happen.
I want Kylo Ren to beat Rey. Cause also Daisy Ridley's coming back for another Star Wars movie, and the Ryan Johnson trilogy has also been confirmed for 10, 11, and 12. So I think it would be cool if Kylo
But I don't
Ren.
think it's confirmed as 10, 11, 12. He just has
Yeah.
a trilogy.
But yeah,
Speaking
it's not gonna
of
be
10, 11, and 12, if you add
No.
them together, you get a plus sign. So let's talk about Disney Plus.
No,
So,
no.
We are
I am
we
not done.
literally already covered that.
I am
Please,
not done.
let him finish.
I'm being
You
haha.
can see he is not done.
I hope Kylo Ren wins, and all these heroes that we're supposed to care about become myths for the next movies, and like characters like, oh yeah, these guys tried to beat Kylo Ren, but then they failed miserably, and it was all bad. I don't know. I just hope it's good. I've gone on for too long.
Well, we
let's
already
move on.
talked about the Titan that was Disney, so let's move on
God.
to Titans.
No,
We didn't
that was a
talk
terrible
about Disney
segue.
Plus, though.
That was
We
a
didn't
terrible
talk about Disney
segue.
Plus, though.
We did.
talk
We talked about the
Disney-
TV shows on Disney Plus.
We talked about
We talked
D23,
about
not Disney
D23.
Plus, not the
In
other
case
stuff.
you guys, Jaden is
The
a
D23
terribly
announcement.
uneducated Florida man. He's gonna get killed tomorrow by a hurricane. So he won't be
Jaden,
around
Oh my
for
God.
much
Here,
longer.
allow me to take allow me to run this down
D23
real
was
quick.
literally Disney Plus.
Hawkeye, Falcon Winter Soldier,
Oh, that's
WandaVision,
true,
Loki.
that's true.
Yeah.
There's a lot more.
Those
Also,
have
Need I
been
go
announced for
on?
quite a while. That
What
wasn't
if?
announced at D23.
I
Or
was,
Disney.
but when we were oh, whatever. But I think posters were released.
All right,
Haha.
all right. We're gonna talk about
Whoa.
Disney Plus streaming service, and what
Alright,
we're gonna talk about is if it's gonna be successful or not. If we think Disney's gonna win, if they're gonna take over everything.
Alright.
And I just want to know: are you guys gonna buy it? Do you think it's gonna be good? Let me know what you think.
I'm just gonna steal it from one of you.
Go ahead.
Alright. Shut up! I have 2 words, 3 if you count the hyphen. Spectacular Spider-Man. No, but that leads into another thing.
Oh, is that
It's like
happens
this.
between
I
like
have
Spectacular and
faith-
Spider?
I have faith and I have faith and hope for the live action shows. It's like I'm particularly excited for Hawkeye and Falcon Winter Soldier, but then I saw that like 50 sitcom poster for WandaVision, and
Yeah.
if they do like a Poindexter buzz sound effects before a laugh track, like if Wanda like notices a laugh track, then goes
No, wait.
insane, and her whole
No, wait,
perfect
actually-
world. It should be. I think it should be cool, but that's just my expectations basing this off of one poster. So that's a bit silly of me, to be honest. But I'm mainly excited for Falcon Winter Soldier and
silly.
Hawkeye.
So
But
quirky.
and then speaking of Spectacular Spider-Man, I think this is confirmed, but I either hope or would really like it if they have like the cartoons, kind of like the DC Universe app, like that has the DCAU, which I think is like the best part for me. Like yes, Doom Patrol and something, mwah, but Batman animated series, Superman the animated series, Justice League Limited.
Yeah.
Like I think that is one of like the best parts.
Yeah,
Even
I feel like we
for
can also return to that.
rewatching. Yeah, I just think the DCU is amazing. But
Yes,
I think it'd be. I just want it to be really awesome. No, that was terrible English. I think it'd be really awesome if they have the cartoons, like even from like the 90s, like the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. Ooh, the memes, but it's particularly like Spectacular Spider-Man, blah blah blah, other stuff. Because Marvel doesn't have many cartoons that were widely loved like the DCAU, but they do have some spectacular ones.
All right, I'm gonna let
right.
Chernobyl speak. He wants to say
Okay.
something.
I'm out of breath. I'm out of breath.
So, Wanda and Vision, I totally forgot about that, but I remembered something kind of cool, or at least something that I thought cool. I will admit, I do not remember I might have watched a video. This might have been heavily influenced, but so okay, in the comics, right? So we understand that Wanda and Vision, they're both able to manipulate reality based on their abilities. Wanda through her powers, and then Vision through the through the stone. But here's the thing.
Watch the
So
thing.
in the comics, it was done through Vision. But now that Vision is dead, the whole sitcom thing, I think it's gonna be deriving from Wanda. And that goes with what you were saying. Like imagine it's a dialogue thing, it's a laugh track, and then the reality crumbles. Well, what if it's not just like in her head, but it's literally a reality? That's where the multiverse, Doctor Strange multiverse of madness could definitely tie in her character. Which I don't know. If they could do that, if they can pull that off, major respect. That would just be cool. That's my opinion at least.
Nightmare would be a cool villain.
Jaden,
It's
what do you
true.
think about the Disney Plus app?
I think it'll turn out pretty well. Disney has had a good track record from Marvel, and what we already seen so far in terms of TV show production, it looks like they're actually gonna be treating these serious, as serious as they treat the Marvel movies. They are heavily trying to push this streaming service. This can turn out to be really profitable for Disney, which means they're gonna put a lot of money into this. I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier would be really interesting and great to see a bearded Zemo back. We also have the Hawkeye
Sockhead
TV
Zemo,
show.
yes.
We don't know much about the Hawkeye TV show. Maybe it'll be between Infinity War and Endgame, because I can't see Hawkeye doing anything after Endgame.
Or maybe his thing against the Yakuza crime, or was it specifically them? I don't know if it's specifically the Yakuza.
It was
but,
Yakuza and a bunch of just different
It was.
crime.
Alright,
That's what I said.
I didn't want to be
Oh,
racist.
yeah.
He was
Alright.
living in Tokyo. How is that racist?
All right. Well, I'm
Just
very
assuming-
excited for the Disney
whatever.
Plus streaming service. It seems like they're doing something that the DC Universe app should have done, and they are releasing a lot of original shows with the app and when it comes out. When the DC Universe app launched, they had a lot of stuff
Andrew,
on
they're
the
actually
app.
doing one a week. I think they're doing one a week.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're doing
is episodic. They have confirmed that.
They're doing
Oh
the one
yeah,
a week.
I know. I'm saying that the app is going to launch with the first
With
episode
multiple
of
shows
it.
at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
is it
believe
gonna
me.
launch with Mandalorian?
Yeah, it is.
Or-
It's
Yeah,
gonna
well,
launch.
I also suspect it'll launch with a Marvel TV show as well. Because
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
we have the
They
What If
better be
series,
good
Loki.
though. They better be good though.
I think
I'm not
it'll be
having
good though. 'Cause
super
we're-
high expectations.
Ooh, I am so excited for What If.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
what,
It's,
what if,
it's animated. I think it's gonna be more of
Yeah. No, but it's
a
animated for
jokey
a
kind of
reason.
thing.
It's
I think
animated
it's-
because
no,
that way they
Jin,
have
I'm
the
just
liberties.
fascinated with the concept. I'm
yeah,
fascinated with the concept.
I hope they take it kind of jokey, like, what if Hulk was Captain America or some stupid crap like that? I don't know.
Well, I think they're doing I think they're doing movie at a time.
Yeah, they
It's
are.
Peggy as Cap.
I know
It's
about one
Cap.
about
What is
Captain
Peggy as
America
Cap,
as
yep.
in the Iron Man suit, and what if Peggy was Captain? I don't know. Was that what one of you were saying? Like
Yeah,
Peggy
I
as
think one
Captain
of them-
America?
I think they're going one movie at a time. So I don't think they could.
Rip
I don't know what they're
Spider-Man
doing. Yeah,
Homecoming,
I'm
Far From
excited.
Home.
What if
my
it was
boy
Toby
Ned
and Sam
was
Raimi?
really
What if-
Spider-Man.
What if it was Toby and Sam Raimi? But
What
as
if
I was,
Ned was
but yeah,
Spider-Man?
as I was saying before, the
Like,
Disney
What if that
Plus
little boy
streaming
was shot
service,
during Iron Man 2?
It's gonna release
Oh my God.
with probably quality shows and a lot of
I'm
shows.
sick and tired of a Spider-Man without problems.
Without getting
That's
gunned
just-
down by a robot in Iron
Oh my
Man 2.
God.
I'm sick of a Peter Parker that isn't gunned down.
Right.
But
No, but-
Andrew, I apologize for interrupting you.
Yeah, you stupid.
Please
All right.
proceed.
I think the shows
Shut
are
up!
good. I think the shows are gonna be good. I think it's not just gonna be quantity. I think it's gonna be quality. The Mandalorian, the production value looks very high, and also Disney usually makes pretty good
Production
stuff.
value for Justice League is very high. Just saying.
Yeah,
Keep going.
that too. But
My favorite part about that movie was his chin.
Disney usually
upper
makes
lip.
pretty good stuff, like in terms of the
Stupid man.
MCU and the Marvel shows. And the Mandalorian looks good. I think the Obi-Wan TV series would be good. So I don't know. I'm definitely gonna get it. They're probably just gonna buy Netflix a few months later. So who cares at this point? Just give it to Disney.
I think they need to release with like great shows because I think one of the reasons the DC Universe app isn't as successful as it could and should be is because they launched with Titans. Like I think they would have had, in my opinion, I think they would have had so much more success if they launched with Doom Patrol.
Oh, yeah.
Or something else. Like if they launched, like if people got the free trial, I was like, let's try this out, and saw Doom Patrol, they'd be like, ooh, hell yeah. But
Yeah.
like they saw Titans, which, I personally didn't love. But
But again, Finn,
and a lot of
on
people
launch day, the Disney Plus streaming service is gonna have more original shows than the DC Universe app has
Plus,
today.
they'll have everything else.
Exactly.
we'll
They'll
talk about the DC Universe app in a
all
bit.
the
So I'm
MCU.
sorry for starting the
all the
tangent.
MCU, all the Star Wars shows. Disney owns everything.
Except for Warner Bros.
And
Yet they don't own Warner Bros. Yet.
I'm telling you,
Do
Disney.
you guys think that the Disney owns everything? Well, so sorry, I'm just saying, like, because we're on this topic, Disney owning everything. Do you think that that's actually going to be a problem with, like...
So you're asking if Disney will
Yes.
monopolize the entertainment industry?
Disney
Yeah.
Disney
Yes,
right now
I think it will.
is
And if
big,
they will take advantage of the
and
Lazier
it's
system.
becoming a huge titan.
Oh my god.
And on that
Wait, oh my God,
excellent
there are guys
segue
with guns
that
and
I
Mickey
came
Mouse
up
faces
with on
outside
my
my
own,
house.
Let's move on to the Titan Season 2 teaser trailer or whatever it was.
I
Just
only
talk
saw the
about, like,
first look,
whether
not
the
the trailer.
government will allow them to get even bigger. Like that's just crazy. Think about like one company owning the entirety of like the entertainment business.
I'm nervous about that creatively because they are like with everything
That's
on the with everything on the streaming service being like PG-13. What if, for example, they buy Warner Bros. And have DC and have the DC
movies
thing,
like-
and now
movies-
Doom Patrol
movies like the
and now
Joker
Doom Patrol
movie.
isn't TVMA or Swamp Thing isn't TV or something's canceled. Like what if? And then I feel like that would take away. And imagine like Doom Patrol people saying "frick" all the time. That would get really annoying. You know?
I mean, there was
Yeah, yeah.
Daredevil.
But
Daredevil was intense enough for me. I enjoyed Daredevil. Everyone did. But in terms of language and stuff. But anyway, I guess we can start.
Oh,
moving
it's just an
into-
example.
Yeah, I guess we can start moving into DC stuff. I think we said everything we wanted to say about Disney. I don't know how long ago, but the final trailer for Titan Season 2 was released. And
That should be another one.
Ginger Wally.
Ginger Wall. I don't know. I'm gonna share it first. The trailer
Oh,
didn't
please
look,
do.
the
Don't
trailer-
consult us. Just do.
The trailer didn't look as great as the teaser did, but I'm still excited for Season 2 regardless. I hope it's good, mostly because I want to have something good to watch on the DC Universe app before Doom Patrol Season 2 comes out.
And Stargirl.
Now, who cares about Stargirl, Finn, you
Me.
piece of poo. But yeah,
Me.
I hope it's good. I'm
I
super
do.
excited that Deathstroke is going to be in it as a villain. That's something that Season 1 did not have. It's important for a superhero show or any show to have an obstacle / a villain. Titan Season 1 didn't have that. I also like how they're becoming more of a Young Justice team other than just the edgy four Titans that all have terrible backstories and stuff like that. That's what the Doom Patrol's for, alright? Leave the Titans out of that. But yeah,
The characters with terrible backstories?
yes,
do you-
horrific, not terrible backstories, like, tragic
What?
backstories. That's the word that I meant.
Whoa, hold on for 1 second. Robin's backstory has been that since like he was first like conceived.
I know, but Robin repeated the same character arc about 4 times.
Well, are you,
not
so
what
you're
your
talking
point
about?
was,
That's
though.
not a backstory. That's a character.
I know.
Yeah.
But that led into his
You have to
backstory
excuse his idiocy.
of Batman training him as a weapon, and he went through that like 4 times. That was annoying.
And then he was like, oh, it was like Dick Grayson versus his darkness. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
suddenly it was like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna give up this life. And then he murdered Batman in a dream world. Spoilers.
I mean, you
You
should.
So who's gonna-
do for me? I
who's
can't
gonna-
believe-
Who's gonna go next?
Chernov, share first.
Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of you guys covered like the essential parts, but I will admit even just like for a rewrite, like if I were to just like
I
just
haven't
plan out
seen
it
it.
simple, just no, but like from what I've heard, I'm gonna go from this like full disclaimer from what I've
Or you could
heard.
just talk about the trailer.
Actually have a villain for season one. I feel like even if you haven't watched the series, that's kind of common sense. And from what I've heard again, maybe focus on like a subplot with Trigon. Like that could have been
They
there
did.
doesn't no, but
Didn't work very
like
well.
more like better like not just about oh no I feel bad now
Just do it better.
because I'm Dick Grayson and I want to kill Batman. Oh, I do not want to
Ooh,
kill Batman.
sure enough.
What?
What if like, I know this is a lot harder for like a shorter series, but I think
Yeah.
it'd be really interesting if they had like Trigon as like an Eobard Thawne thing, like you know how
Oh,
like
it's somewhat like a recurring.
yeah. But I
Yeah.
do like the Deathstroke thing that you were talking, so continue doing that thing with your
No,
mouth.
but also doesn't Deathstroke also have a daughter?
Yeah,
Yes.
she's
Who looks
Whoa.
70?
she's
Wait,
like
is she confirmed
The
in
hair.
the series or
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
on the
trailer?
poster.
yeah we
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
she's on the poster.
Sure, we saw
I
her
know.
we saw her in the trailer. She was training with Dick Grayson, so she's gonna be like
Well,
on the
that
team.
was her.
And Deathstroke's gonna be
Yeah.
like, whoa, that's illegal.
Is
Okay.
it that good?
All right, are you done,
I
Sharnoff?
yeah.
All right, Finn, you go on your rant because I know.
Well, all right. So I'm gonna
Go on.
turn this into a flash rant. I'm kidding.
I mean,
I haven't seen the trailer. I've seen the first look, I guess. I'm okay.
Your hopes and dreams for Titan season 2.
Raven Point. The Raven Point paradox.
Raven.
That's okay. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, I think the best way to follow up season one is, this is gonna sound mean, but I don't really want to be mean to anyone involved. But this is gonna sound mean. Anyway, I think the best way to follow up season one is with a reboot or like a refresh or something, or just something new. And I'm excited. I guess it looks pretty okay. I mean, they better get rid of the blue, but aside from that, I hope the characters, I think, should be the best parts, because these are some really great characters, and I think it's all in terms of handling them well. And I think this should be one of those shows that's longer. Like, for instance, the first season Titans was 11 episodes. I think this should be like 15, like Doom Patrol
yeah, just
was.
like yeah.
And
We
I'm
also-
particularly
we also
excited
have
for
a lot
Aqualad.
more characters that they have to explore.
Yeah,
A lot
like
a lot of new
Superboy,
characters.
Aqualad, and expand upon more. Like Jason Todd, Donna Troy, they didn't do a whole lot in season
they,
one.
they didn't have a lot of screen time. Same thing with Hawk and Dove. Where you
I
get to
hope
see
I hope like the
more-
people realized that people didn't click too well with, like, for example, Starfire, so they focus more on like other characters. Like, for example, I think Beast Boy had a really nice arc about like eating the guy, but it wasn't given that much attention. He had like one vision, bled from the mouth, and then was done. So I don't know. I want to say faith, but I don't know if hope's the right word, but I want it to be good, because the Titans, the characters they're exploring, Beast Boy, Jason Todd, Dick Grayson, Aqualad, which is Garth, which is cool, so it becomes Tempest. But I don't know. I hope it's good, because the characters are really cool. Can be.
I'm
cool.
just gonna share something that I just saw scrolling through Titan stuff. It's this fan-made poster, but it looks really cool. It's Cyborg from the Doom Patrol with all the other characters, and Dick Grayson in the
that guy.
Nightwing costume, which
Ooh.
which may happen because
Yeah.
Dove in the trailer said it's time for you to be Batman to Dick or something like that. I don't know.
Oh.
Jaden, what do you think about
Jaden
all
Stern,
this?
yeah.
Don't care.
Fair enough.
We don't care about you, and we hope
I
that
just
you get
want
carried
my
off by the hurricane.
I just want my Nightwing movie that has been in development hell.
Not really
I
development hell,
just
more like conceptual hell.
It's literally been like it was like announced to happen in like 2016, and it's not even.
DC had like this whole plan, and then
They had
BVS
a
didn't do
plan,
very well.
but no one had any goddamn faith.
Well, I mean, look why. I hate being mean, but like, look at like literally what happened. BVS, Man of Steel, they weren't. Well, Man of Steel was received like
I
fine.
didn't say the fans are the one that had no faith. Warner Brothers didn't. Zack Snyder didn't have faith in the actual characters, so he made
Yeah.
new ones for the properties he had. All I wanted it was
Like,
Nightwing. I don't
Warner
want.
Brothers is a big company, and for some reason they're just not standing behind this DC Universe app. Disney is putting everything into this app, and the work it's gonna be worth it. I
Well,
think the
I
app is
understand
gonna be
why they're doing
I,
this.
I understand why they're not putting. Think about it this way.
Yeah,
What if
me
it's like
too.
it could easily be kind of like a cycle, right? They're not putting enough time behind it because it's not doing that well. It's not doing that well because they're not putting enough time
Well,
behind it.
I think it's
right?
more
It's
of.
like a company's risk.
Well, sure. I think it's more of Marvel has already succeeded in the movie department.
That's
DC
true.
hasn't been succeeding. I think they're definitely getting better, i.e., Aquaman, Shazam, that stuff, Joker, hopefully. They're getting better, but they're still not nearly as successful critically or financially as Marvel has been for the past like 10 years. So Marvel can, like, if they have the risk of putting everything into their streaming service, and also they're Disney. They have a lot of
yeah.
resources. Yes, Warner Bros. Is big, but I just think if they, because they've proved that they could do two good things at a time. Shazam came out during the middle of Doom Patrol, which was like a blissful time, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think we're talking too much about the corporate politics than we are about the shows.
All right. So, moving on to the Joker trailer. This was the final trailer
Taxi
that was
driver.
released for the movie, and I think it's looking good. I'm very excited for the Joker movie. I want to know what you guys think first. Chernoff, you share.
I feel like okay. I hope he does not. It's not just a solo. Like it's not once and done. To be honest, I think what they're doing is it's almost like an investment. They're using this movie to see how the audience reacts to it. And so I don't think he's gonna die obviously in his first movie, but I think that if the audience responds to it well, then they'll definitely keep him around. But
I think he may die
here's
in
the
his
thing.
first movie.
Yeah, I like that. That's still a chance, and that's always gonna be a chance in my opinion. But the truth is, the truth is, it doesn't make sense why like if the audience reacts well to it with it, right? Why they would have to kill him off in the first movie, unless like the audience reacts.
Well, what
well
if they react to him dying in the first movie?
Yeah,
Whoa.
that's a move. But either way, the point is, I'm interested. After Jared Leto, to be honest, after Jared Leto, I'm I mean I'm just like
All
I'm
you
kind
want
of
to see now
interested
is just
with
a good Joker.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix?
Not
Joaquin Phoenix.
No.
I'm just gonna say it.
Joe Quain Phoenix.
Joker.
Yeah,
And this Andrew
Joaquin
is like,
Felix.
oh, Joaquin Felix. Oh my
Felix.
god.
But
There's no
either way,
L.
they're really emphasizing him being like him going from just really weird to really like
Gamers
societal-
rise up.
like really
That's literally what it is.
sociopathic. And that's
Gamers rise up.
that's the type of that's the type I'm sick and tired of a Joker without
I'm sick
relatable
and
problems.
tired of a Joker without a name, without a personality, without an identity.
I'm sick and tired of Joker Jared Leto.
It's
I'm sick and tired of
3:35
Jared.
a.m. I just watched Joker Far From Home.
All right, well it's gonna be
I love Daddy High
3:35
Top.
if we don't.
I just watched Joaquin Phoenix. Oh my
I just
lord.
watched Joaquin Felix.
Ah.
All right, Jaden, what do you think?
We just
about...
all collectively fell asleep. We were just
Yeah.
like, oh.
What, Jaden, what do you think?
I fully
about the
played
Joker
shirt
movie?
off. I have said this in a non-podcast.
Okay, Jaden's just dead. I don't know what's wrong with him. Finn, you share
got
him. Jaden's getting swept away by the hurricane.
Hurricane
Alright.
Dorian?
I haven't seen the trailer.
All right, well,
For Hurricane Dorian?
what do you think about the movie? Are you excited for it? Do you hope it's good?
I like that it's small scale. Like, I like how it's not connected to anything. Like, I think that gives the people
Yeah, it's a
freedom to do whatever
standalone
they
movie.
please. Yeah, and
I
I think
would-
it's in like this whole DC Black or DC Dark thing, which if that exists to have like smaller scale movies, I'd be really excited. Like obviously I want there to be like Justice League movies and crossovers, but that could be for the main one. But if they just do like smaller scale filmmaker driven little movies about whatever they want, I think that'd be really cool. So I'm excited for like the concept of the Joker thing. I'm excited to see this new adaptation of his origin because I do like the whole Mask of the Phantasm / BTS, I guess, kind of / Under the Red Hood origin. Where, like, you know, he's a mobster guy, blah blah blah. He fell into the acid, now a crazy old Mark Hamill voice, which is great. I love that origin, but I feel like a new exploration would be really cool. I just hope it's a good movie. Because I think that's what it is set out to be.
Yeah.
Not like a good superhero movie or a good comic book movie or a good connected universe movie. I think they set out to make a good film, and I hope that's what they achieve.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, maybe I'm weird.
I think it's fine that this Joker's getting somewhat of origin because I like the whole theory that there are multiple Jokers. The Joker can be anyone,
Yes.
just like how quote unquote the Batman can be anyone. And
Well,
I
Joker's
think,
more of an idea.
yeah,
whatever, sorry.
and I think
We live in a society.
I think there's a chance that Arthur
Gamers rise
Fleck
up.
might die at the end of this movie. I hope he doesn't because if this is a
Comedy
good
King?
Joker, if this is a Joker that we enjoy, I'm gonna want to see him in other stuff. But who knows? I hope it's good. I think it's cool that that this is
They should just do a Condiment
R-rated
King
movie.
spinoff.
Facts. I think it's cool that this is a
Joker.
DC R-rated movie. This probably wouldn't be something that Disney would explore. I heard that this movie is also going to be very controversial to like stuff that's going on in today's
Which is
world.
why Disney shouldn't buy.
knows?
Which is what I said before about the creativity of Disney
exactly.
being.
Disney would
the Justice
probably not
Lords.
want to make a villain film that in a way is going to make you sympathize for the Joker. In the first trailer,
show.
in the first trailer, we saw Arthur started getting beaten up and bullied, and then that makes you feel empathy for a character who you're not supposed to feel empathy for.
Loki show.
Yeah, there is that. But again, they kind of turn Loki into a hero, but who knows?
Just a small
Maybe-
sub rant.
maybe
I will
I'm just
admit, I
weird.
do not. I get the idea for the title, the title screen, for Loki, but I do not like it at all. There are a bajillion.
Loki's gonna
handmade-
be okay.
Loki's gonna be. Loki's gonna be. It's not. It's not even. I don't know. I just there's. They
Our
could have done
brains
stuff
have
with the
stopped
sea.
working.
It's just not. It's just not great.
So, what else do we have time to talk about? I guess I'll
I mean,
start off the whole Flash rant.
No,
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
No.
I'm joking. Jane hasn't spoken yet.
Your
Joking,
opinions
Jane
are
hasn't
false.
spoken yet.
Oh, I thought Jane died.
And me
I
too.
literally
I hoped.
said maybe I'm just weird like twice to try to speak.
Well,
Because maybe I'm just weird, but I would like my comic book movies to feel a little bit like comic book movies and not be taken too seriously and go into like mental issues and
I think it's a good
poverty.
refresher.
Okay, I understand, but you have to understand that
this is coming
Joker.
from
It's
the
also a
man
Joker
who loves
movie.
Far From Home.
Like they're not like making Superman depressing. They're making a Joker. Also, I think it's
Yeah,
I think
I think a
refreshing.
Joker
And-
movie should be dark and serious, just like the Heath Ledger Joker.
Well, I just think it's time for it to be argued. We've had enough, even from DC. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like I love Shazam, and it's still the lighter tone. So I think it's like variety's good. But I'm sorry, Jaden, continue if you haven't muted yourself.
I haven't. I'm just
Okay.
good at being silent.
Whoa, he's like Batman.
I am.
I just
Batman.
held my breath.
What?
It's a
I
quote from Dark
understand.
Knight Returns.
If if I wanted that type of movie, I just wouldn't watch a superhero movie. I would like my a comic book movie that I watch to be at least a little bit like a comic book movie. This feels like it reminds me of Bird of Prey because like it's described as if you're a
Birds of
comic book,
Prey. We should talk about that.
you'll
No,
hate it. I would like my comic movie to at least be a little bit a little bit comic booky, and this just feels like it's just completely changing the Joker, and like he's
I'm
around
Jared
before
Leto
Batman. Batman doesn't create him. Jared Leto Joker wasn't comic book Joker. He was like pimp Joker.
Share.
That wasn't comic book Joker.
I mean, yeah, neither is this. That's my point.
Yeah, for me, I
that's my
think
point.
it's like
Jared Leto wasn't
for
good.
me, it's I like it. For me, I like
Heath Ledger
this
wasn't
new
comic
thing.
book Joker.
But
He was
if
great.
this, if I just think it would become a problem if just completely devoid of anything becomes like a trend. Like I like this filmmaker-driven stuff, but I agree with Jaden to the extent that if this is like too much. But I personally like that it's a.
I
separate.
honestly think that he's gonna die at the end of the movie.
I think he's gonna kill the
that's
entire
what
world.
think.
I think he's gonna Thanos snap.
I'm not sure if we're gonna
Well,
see
what if he
this
does a comedy
Joker
gig with Mrs.
again
Maisel?
after the movie, but who
So,
knows?
anything else we're gonna talk about?
I just want to talk about one last thing about the Joker.
Oh, my apologies. I thought
There's
you were
also
finished.
this theory. I was watching a new Rockstar's video, and they
We're not allowed to
spotted.
plug other YouTube channels.
Oh well, I like
is
giving
wrong
credit
with
to
you?
people.
How are
It
we gonna
doesn't
keep
matter.
attention on our channel if
They're
we're
gonna-
just
Jaden, we quoted High Top Films for like 5 minutes. Please
But
chill.
we did not
Exactly.
state his name.
Exactly.
I just did.
Actually, no. Let's
Don't
state all
say
the
his
YouTubers'
name.
names so we can tag them in the video. PewDiePie, yeah, except for the guy Markiplier.
Exactly.
Now we can put them in the
we'll get
tags.
all these
Chill,
views.
chill,
We'll get all
chill.
these
Now we
views.
can put them
But
in the
anyway,
tags.
Thomas
Covering
Wayne,
up for the
Martha
radio.
Wayne, and Bruce are in the movie. All three of them.
Martha.
And there is a scene where those three were leaving a theater while a bunch of rioters were going around for this cult of Joker, and
Ever
Arthur
dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
and people think that Arthur may kill Bruce's parents, just like what happened with the Jack Nicholson Joker. I'm pretty
Which
sure.
is what I was quoting.
Yeah. Well, instead of Joe Chill killing Batman's parents, it's Joker
Or Matches Malone.
instead, or someone who eventually becomes the Joker. But
So, may I just say like a couple words about the Flash news, please?
Nope.
Please?
No.
Like,
You
I
can say
swear to
that
God.
for your own video.
I know. I swear to God, it'll be like 2 seconds, and only on this news. I won't tangent it to CW or the comics or anything. I swear to God, just this like paragraph that was tweeted.
No,
Please.
I'm joking. You just go. Make it quick.
All right. So the news about Andy Machete is saying that the Flash will be like his next blah 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 blah, and that there's little no hormones. I don't care. And then, so what captivated me? Although there be little no hormones, he has filmed that be a beautiful human story. I am very excited because human superhero stories are freaking awesome, and I think Flash is my favorite superhero. So I feel like exploring him as not a joke is such a cool concept, and I really hope it's executed well. And the whole thing with him being like, oh, he has super speed, but since he's a forensic scientist, he's late to some things, and he has this guilt, and mom gets yeeted, and dad gets yeeted, and the beautiful human story made me like cry tears of joy. It didn't literally.
In case you don't know what
because I was sick in bed.
She's talking about the Flash
Oh,
movie
yeah.
that Ezra Miller will
I
be
understand.
in. Oh yeah, I know.
Ezra and Andy
Because
Machete.
honestly, I thought he was gonna
I
start.
thought
I
about
thought he
changing
was
your
gonna talk about CW Flash. Anyway.
No. I'm
That's-
keeping this just to the paragraph.
Yeah,
That was it.
anyway.
And I'm excited. Beautiful human story.
Just good.
My
good,
headset fell off.
Good for you. All right, we're gonna
Thank
end it
you.
here. Jane got carried off by the hurricane. Chernoff, I wish you luck. Don't die.
Thank you.
Don't.
Chernoff's in the
don't-
life of Pi,
don't-
just on a
don't-
boat.
Don't leave us alone with Karen because she's gonna have to go eat dinner. And yeah,
And
thank
then
you.
Finn's gonna talk about Flash all
It's
day.
Yeah.
it's 3:35 a.m. I have to go to dinner.
All right, thank you guys for watching.
Sayonara.
Subscribe to Just Some Lads for more crap content, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye.